vomiting up at
he's
all the
vomiting
time.
out. Sometimes he vomits it out like that. Sometimes he hides it in a towel and he will do the actions and say... then drop it from that.
Right.
But the exertion of miracle-making had proved too much, even for a god. To the alarm of the crowd, suddenly Sai Baba collapsed. His huge coterie of staff swung into action. There was panic. An organisation used to tight control seemed to have lost its grip. Sai Baba was hastily wheeled off stage.
That's a good one, Coach. That's a good one, Coach.
For the Ram family, the tragedy was coming to a head. Alaya's parents were noticing changes in their son.
You think so?
He wasn't looking happy even in India going into these interviews. I would wait until he would come out, and he didn't look happy to go in, and he didn't really look happy to come out. And there was a suspicion growing in me that, you know, things were going wrong.
Don't put the 8-ball in right there. You know what I'm saying? Ah! Hey, you out.
We were concerned about Alaya's behavior and the way he was acting, and so we decided we were going to confront him. Well, to my surprise, when Alaya said okay and he started to tell the story, it was so much more than I knew anything about. And that, in fact, he had been sexually forced and abused by Sai Baba in almost every single interview he had ever been in.
What did you feel like as his mother and father listening to that?
It's like everything went white for me. I just, the being which I call Sai Baba, the living God that I had taken for years into my private heart, had been truly abusing my son for so long. I felt completely betrayed that I had actually led my son into this, telling my son to trust in this man completely. And Sai Baba, the Sai Baba, was a predator and a man who cared only for himself and for taking precious love from his devotees. And really, I can see now he really didn't care about me. He wanted my son.
What do you think now, looking at all these things that were so cherished by you?
Really, one word comes to my mind when I look at this box, and I would say that this is a box of bribes.
Yeah.
Sri S.A. Kalwani of Indonesia.
At 78, Sai Baba is becoming frail. His reputation is also showing signs of strain. But his support from India's power elite is as strong as ever. Prime ministers and presidents, judges and generals all go to worship at the ashram.
His Excellency, the President of India.
Even the newly elected leader has paid his respects.
The Honourable Mr. Manmohan Singh.
The people at the top are aware of the rumours as they've been around for at least 30 years. 3 years ago, in response to claims against Sai Baba, the former Prime Minister Atal Vajpayee issued a letter on his official notepaper, calling the allegations wild, reckless and concocted. Did the government of India know something? Had they investigated Sai Baba and found him to be as pure as he proclaimed? I went to Delhi, the political heart of India, to find out why successive governments have given him such support.
Do you agree with the contents of Mr. Vajpayee's letter?
I do agree that these charges appear to be baseless.
Are you aware of the nature of the claims against Sai Baba?
Well, I have read something. And I know Sai Baba very well. I know most of these people very well. And I can say that whatever Mr. Vajpayee has said is the correct position.
The correct position for Mr. Joshi and other former government ministers appears to have been side by side with Sai Baba. Until the recent election, he was a senior minister in the Indian government, a powerful man. We were interested to know if any future investigation of Sai Baba had been compromised by the former Prime Minister's letter.
Isn't the point, really, that any possible investigation by the state of Sai Baba would be compromised?
No, there is no question. Any false allegation, you see. I know that this is a case in which your BBC is involved and people from England have been making certain charges against Sai Baba, but that doesn't make that the charges are true.
I just wanted to know whether you think that there's a danger that the Indian government could be bringing itself into disrepute by so many leading members of this government being associated.
No. Not so.
Not so.
Mr. Joshi would brook no criticism. He was starting to lose his temper.
It is your intention to malign Sai Baba. It is your intention to malign Mr. Vajpayee and Mr. Bhagwati.
Not at all.
This is, and nothing beyond it.
No, it's not.
It is.
I know what's it. I know.
I say with full. No. Do you know the meaning of interviewing a minister in my capacity as a minister of my stature?
Of course, I understand.
You don't understand it.
Not every government I discovered is so enamoured with Sai Baba. The scale of the abuse has caused alarm around the world. In Sweden, a Sai Baba school closed down after disturbing revelations from a young boy. The American government is also concerned. On the website of the American Embassy in Delhi, there's a warning to any US citizen visiting the state of Andhra Pradesh. It draws attention to a noted godman who reportedly indulges in inappropriate sexual behaviour with young male devotees. We contacted the US Embassy in Delhi and they confirmed to us for the first time that they're directly referring to Sai Baba. Sex abuse is not the only controversy tainting the godman's reputation. On a June night back in 1993, 4 devotees broke into Sai Baba's quarters. They were armed with knives. Their motives are unclear. All 4 were close to Sai Baba. Some say they wanted to warn him about corruption in the ashram. Others claim their intention was to kidnap or even kill Sai Baba. As they approached, they were stopped by 4 of Sai Baba's attendants. In the struggle that followed, 2 of his attendants were killed and the other 2 badly injured. Hearing the commotion, Sai Baba escaped through a back stairway and raised the alarm. Heavily armed police arrived on the scene.
So these boys, they ran and locked themselves up in a room. And then the whole, all around, a lot of pandemonium, and people gathered. So the boys were shivering like rats in that small hole.
The 4 men barricaded themselves into Sai Baba's bedroom. There was a standoff with the police. Then the order was given to go in. What happened next is hotly disputed. The official version seemed clear.
These 4 boys charged towards the building.